We have a registered offender that is currently running for Fresno City Council. While I respect anybody's ability to serve our community, I find this quite disturbing.
After he pleaded no contest to a sole misdemeanor charge of possessing and controlling child pornography.
But imagine the audacity to like get out of jail or as a offender and be like, I should run this city. Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gays, where we take on insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson.
Did you take out where we take on LGBT
Well,
insanity?
because we're not talking about LGBT.
I think that's great because I've been thinking we needed to branch out, and I was actually going to ask you a month ago to take out LGBT insanity.
Okay, well.
Isn't that crazy? I was ahead of the game, but I didn't trust my
we're
instinct.
still going to talk about a lot of LGBT stuff.
Anyway,
we're
literally called Normal Gays. Before we get started, this weekend we're going to be doing a video with Brad's mother, a members-only video, so make sure you click the link in the comments and join as a normie.
So if I were to tell you that somewhere in America right now, a registered offender is running for political office, guess what state that would be happening in?
That a sexual is running for what office?
City council.
City council.
As a Democrat.
As a Democrat?
Mm-hmm.
Portland, Oregon.
No.
Oh.
Fresno, California.
Oh, okay.
And this person, I was like looking to search because tell me if this is wrong, and I don't mean this offensively. This person looks trans, but I don't think the person, from what I could find online, there's no evidence that this person is trans.
Oh.
So this is just a man.
So it's just a offender. Well, there's a lot of offenders in like Kentucky, and so I don't know.
agree.
Yeah.
But let's watch this local news reporting about this story because it actually sparked an interesting debate. Listen to this.
Personally, I felt attacked.
Do you see why I said that he looks trans?
I don't think well,
Offender running for Fresno council seat speaks out after council member comments.
I don't think he looks trans. I don't know. Maybe.
I had met with them several times.
Maybe it's the
I
voice.
gave them
It's the voice.
plenty of opportunity.
It reminds me of, and this is actually rude, and I don't mean this to suggest they're the same at all because Chase hasn't done anything wrong. Reminds me of the ACLU lawyer Chase Strangio.
Who's that?
Oh my God, we literally covered the. You're literally a goldfish.
Plenty of opportunity to talk to me privately. Not one of them reached out to me.
Fresno City Council candidate 41-year-old Renee Campos, a registered offender, responding to Thursday's uproar from council members.
We have a registered offender that is currently running for Fresno City Council. While I respect anybody's ability to serve our community, I find this quite disturbing.
I did hear some of the concerns of a potential future or former Epstein-type candidate coming to this dais. Any given Thursday, we have kids in this room. We have families.
Campos is registered on the California Megan's Law website. It's because he was arrested in 2018 after a cyber tip was sent to the local Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
We went to this home in Fresno. There we contacted Campos, and we were able to determine that he had been downloading and sharing child sex abuse material.
The sheriff's office says he spent nearly a month in the Fresno County Jail after he pleaded no contest to a sole misdemeanor charge of possessing and controlling child. Now, several members of the Fresno City Council announcing they're working on legislation to bar him and other offenders from running.
This isn't about one person. It's not about an election. It's not about a race. It's not about politics. This is about keeping City Hall a safe, free, participating home for all of the residents of Fresno.
Well, Campos believes that action would go against the Constitution and that he has a right to run and has been accountable since the beginning.
I am no danger to no one. I put everything out there,
Bitch,
every detail I can to make people feel that I have been transparent every single way. Nobody does this in government. Nobody comes out and says from the very beginning, hey, I up.
I'm no danger to anyone, but I can't go within 5,000 feet of a school.
I just some kids.
Well, that's not the actual charge.
Oh, well, it was
possession of
videos
material.
That's disgusting.
But we should be accurate. Didn't record the videos, watched and
downloaded
observed.
them.
Yes, we should be accurate. It is all terrible.
Sure.
But
it all morally feels the same to me. It's disgusting.
I agree. It's terrible. But imagine the audacity to like get out of jail or as a offender and be like, I should run this city. Like what?
I want to know what his motives are
for running.
Yeah, like I want to know why he's like, I'm gonna run for city council. Like,
just
what do
don't
you want
understand
to?
it.
You don't care about your. There's no way you care about your community.
And I love this idea that like, well, I'm transparent about it, and I'm not a danger to anyone. Clearly, you are.
I want to know what his campaign is like running on. Like, what is your big issue?
We can go to the website.
Yeah, like what's the issue that he's running on? And also, he's definitely not trans because he's a man, and men are typically offenders over women.
It's all just articles about the person being.
Like, where is his campaign?
I don't know. I can't find it. The question this sparked for me that was very interesting was, should the person be allowed to run for office for city council? Because they're considering legislation or at this local level that would bar offenders from holding office. And obviously the legality of that would have to be litigated. But it's an interesting question because if you really believe in just democracy unfettered, you would say like, well, if the people choose to put offender on the city council, if that's what they want, I guess that's democracy. Now the counter.
And I don't think I believe in democracy.
I certainly don't believe it in unlimited democracy.
No.
The same way we have age requirements. There are requirements on things that can disqualify you from office. Sure. And I think, yeah, being a sex offender, because it also like literally would limit your, and I watched more and I read more of the coverage about this than just the clip we watched, but it would limit his ability to do the job because like he can't go to a school. He can't be at, like this is so up, but it's funny. It's like almost comically absurd in another way where it's like,
okay, let's move on.
I don't know, man.
But like, should you be able to block someone from running if
felons can be blocked from voting because of their history?
But this person's been had their voting rights restored. So under law, they're allowed to vote because you do have to be a qualified voter to run for the office. But the person, based on whatever charge they pled guilty to, did not lose their voting rights. Because you're right, like a felon or whatever will lose their right to vote in some states. But that's not the case in this situation.
I don't believe in being that dogmatic when it comes to democracy.
No.
I'm sorry. There's got to be, like, your morality has to be so twisted to be that type of person that there's no way you should be in any type of leadership position. And if that goes against the Constitution, we need to amend it.
Well, I'm a little confused what part of the Constitution that would go against.
What the f are you talking about, bro?
Maybe I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't.
That I'm aware of. I'm sure the ACLU will sue defending this person.
I guess we don't know. Happening. Yeah.
But I do find it interesting. I love these local news stories. I worry that local news is going to shut down because they gift us so many interesting things you just wouldn't hear about without.
It's going to shut down.
I know, but I rely on them all the time for
and
stories.
It's going to be replaced with like Nick Shirley's Libs of TikTok types, just posting like random stories unsubstantiated on Twitter that go viral.
You know what I think that nonprofits should fund local news. Like rich donors and such, because it's not going to, there's no way to make it a sustainable business model now in terms of a for-profit enterprise. But all these people give so much money to stupid causes and wasteful, bloated nonprofits. Why not fund some local news, some honest reporting?
How do you make people interested in it, though?
Not that many people have to be interested in it if it's going to be funded by like rich billionaires.
Sure.
And more importantly,
billionaires used to build libraries and.
That's what I'm saying. Like instead of maybe giving all your money to ridiculous politicians or super PACs or whatever, like funding a local newsroom that would hold politicians accountable, because there's a lot of research about when local newspapers and stations shut down, like corruption increases and there's less government accountability and all sorts of bad outcomes.
Because you get rid of journalists
who are the ones looking and holding them accountable.
And we're replacing journalists right now with influencers.
Not that there's anything wrong with influencers.
No, nothing at all. We all act with journalistic integrity and we never post misinformation.
Or show our ass online for money. Oh, wait.
That's my billionaire funding me. I'm not corrupt. That's how I make my money.
You decided to sell your whole, not your soul.
Exactly.
I just think this is a wild story. I'm very curious for people's thoughts because a lot of it comes back, these viral stories, to like the audacity. And the audacity of this bitch to show his face in public is one thing, let alone to like run for city council.
He looks decrepit. I'm sorry.
He
looks like me.
Crawl back into the basement
when I accidentally
and stay away from school
too heavily on my Reddit or on my peptide that made me not hungry for 2 weeks, when I got sick, I looked ghastly, okay? And the sunken face, it's very scary.
Well, especially when you know a little bit about this person, but who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be the next.
He looks like he did what he did.
You can't really judge people.
No, you can. It's
No,
pattern
you can't.
recognition. It's pattern recognition. I'm sorry. And I think there's a correlation there. When you look decrepit like that, and society rejects you because of the way you look, you may find yourself falling into behaviors that are not what society deems normal. So maybe there's a correlation there. All I know is that when I see somebody who creeps me the out, I trust my gut.
All right. Well, you guys let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button. We'll be back with more real soon.